The slide is visible, right?
Yes, sir. Visible,
Okay,
sir.
so coming to the first module, you know that our subject is data mining, and
Yes, sir.
data mining, we will discuss various algorithms that are used for mining important insights of a data set. And basically that is in integration of the data warehouse plus machine learning algorithms. Okay, then
Okay,
first
sir.
module. So what happens actually when we have a lot of data, then it is being confused that which one is very important, right? Which part of the data set is important for us. So in such cases, what happens? We have to find out the patterns inside the data set, and for that we have to do what? Employ some algorithms. Right, you know the term mining. Mining means what? Mining means like, coal minings. We do mining coal, means it's a kind of rocks. So, but we need to find it out, and we need to distinguish between that coal and that different other means other rocks. And then accordingly, we can find out that, yes, this is the part what we are looking for. Similarly, for diamond mining, so this is again simply a rock. So we need to distinguish between that which one is diamond and which one is common rock. Similarly, in a data set, we have to find out which data is important and which is not. And that important one we will focus on. So that's why the subject name is data mining. We are mining the data. We are mining actually important data, right? Okay. Now in this figure, you can see which are our lowest or highest margin customers. Who are my customers and what products are they buying? Which customers are most likely to go to the competitions? What impact will new products or service have on revenue and margins? What products promotions have the biggest impact on revenue? Or what is the most effective distribution channel? So these are the questions that come to this person. You can consider him as a manager or in a higher position in a particular company, right? So from the data set of those different customers, he tries to find out this, right? Now, what happened? You know about database. In a database, we
Yes,
keep
sir.
records of data, right? We have, say, tables of information like students. In a students table, we have information about the students. Similarly, in a customer table, we have information of the customers. So basically what I mean to say that those different tables we can keep inside a database, and a database you can consider as a container of those data, right? Similarly, we have data warehouse. And this data warehouse a bit different from the database, normal common database. How? Because I hope you know, Imadi, that about what is database,
Yes, sir.
right? We used to
Yes, sir.
create
Yes, sir. I
using,
know.
say, SQL, in MySQL or Oracle. I hope you know about those databases related queries, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Now, as I'm saying that data warehouse, generally by this term we mean those places where we keep some goods, some valuable goods for later use, right? Similarly, here data warehouse. Obviously, these are going to be a place where we keep the data for later part of use. That later part of use may be analysis, or the later part of use may be to find out some insight or knowledge, right? So that's why the term data warehouse. We can give the definition of data warehouse as an appliance for storing and analyzing data and reporting. We are using the term storing and analyzing. Why? Because we are keeping the data here, but we use it for analyze. And by the term analyze means we try to find out the insights of that data, how the different attributes are being related, and what trends that is there in that data. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
What it means that we use this data in the data warehouse.
Sir, one question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, data warehouse is like a server or it is a application, sir.
See, obviously some applications are there which are keeping this data warehouse, or you can consider some storage. Okay, it's nothing but it's just a kind of storage. Only difference is that this storage, we keep only the summarized data. Obviously, some apps are there, either from Oracle you can use, or either there are so many vendors that provide this. Generally, we don't go for this because we do not want that. This data warehouse, generally, some company or some big, blue chip companies want that for analyze purpose. As an individual, I and me means you, we don't need data warehouse. We need what? DBMS, right? Or database, and for that database, we need DBMS. But data warehouse, as I have said, it is a place where we keep some only the summarized. I will say, I will discuss. So that you can consider as a server also, because server is what? Where we are storing some data. But only difference is that
Yes,
this,
sir.
this storage should have the capability to generate a report on the data that is there inside that particular server. Are you getting my point? So you
Yes,
can
sir.
consider it as a server, or you can consider it as a normal system, but there's places there. Obviously, we with an application, we are trying to analyze that particular data inside the data warehouse. Got it? So this is a storage place. First, you consider
Yes, sir.
a storage place. An application that can be a third party, whatever, that will give you the means tools for analyzing those data inside the storage place. Okay, are you getting it, Himadri?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so then as you can see, I am keeping it in bold that this is storing, this is analyzing, then this is reporting. Storing some part of the information. Analyzing means what? When you store some data, your main purpose is to either to use it later or to do some analysis on the data. And when you analyze those data, next thing is to generate a report on that, right? The report is regarding the trend, how the data is going on, and that basically directly linked to the profit of that particular company. Because if a company is investing some amount of money for this data warehouse, so it will do that only to find out the trend for its benefit, for its profit. Now, central database that includes information from several different sources and keeps current as well as historical data. And basically, this is important that data warehouse, we keep historical data. You can note it down, or you can keep this as highlighted, that here we keep historical data, and we use to produce reports to assist in decision making and management. ये term too important. This term is important. we use this data for decision-making purpose. Right, just to give you an example, there is a company, say X, okay, and that company is a manufacturer of air ACs. Now, you know that for India, different regions, the AC been sold with different proportions. Means suppose for Assam, number of ACs being sold may be less than the number of AC being sold to New Delhi. Because generally in Assam, only 1 and 2 3 months requirement at max. But in a place like New Delhi, it is a kind of 12 months requirement, so at least for 8 to 9 months requirement. So what happens if there is a data warehouse keeping the summarized data about that last year's sale of ACs to the region Assam, to the region New Delhi, to the region, say, Gujarat, then we need to find out that in which region, what is the maximum requirement, maximum number of requirements of AC. So that the company, if they can predict that, yes, 1 lakhs of AC will be required in Assam region, 2 lakhs of AC will be required in New Delhi region, and then say in Gujarat, this is like 10 lakhs. So it can prepare itself beforehand and it can send those ACs because the company to company competitions are there. So it can send those ACs to its different shops beforehand. In that way, it can increase the number of sales and hence the profits. So you see, you have just seen that how we can make decision making from the data that we kept in data warehouse. So always remember, in a data warehouse, whatever the data we are putting, that is a kind of historical data we use for analysis and reporting. And most importantly, from those data, we perform decision making. Okay. Now, next thing is that this data warehouse, several properties are there. Okay, and these properties are very important that you have to know. First one is it is subject oriented. Second one is it is integrated. Third one is it is time variant. And the fourth one is it is non-volatile. So you can see subject oriented, integrated, time variant, and non-volatile. So these are the properties exactly that you have to know regarding the data warehouse. Who says that? This is W.H. Inman, who exactly says that data warehouse is a subject-oriented, integrated, time-variant, and non-volatile collection of data in support of management's decision-making process. Okay. Now, you know, whenever we use these terms, where means we always attach this term decision-making. Okay, so data warehouse is related to or associated directly for the decision-making process. Now let's go through these properties. So time-based, subject-oriented means it is dealing directly with some subjects. Subjects means like you can consider as sale, you can consider as IT domain, you can consider as HR, like that. Integrated means what? We collect the data from several sources, not just, tables, the database tables, not just as Excels. It may be from different sources, so it is integrated. Time variant means, see, whenever we talk about data in the data warehouse, it is associated with some timeline. Like I just, in the last example, told you, this is regarding the sale of the, say, last quarter of 2024. Okay. And then non-volatile. we keep the data for later purposes, so this should not be volatile, right? We generally keep only the summarized data in the data warehouse so that it will help us in the decision-making process. So these terms are important. Please keep it in mind. Again, let's come for the term data warehousing. You just given data warehouse term. Now data warehousing. So this data warehousing, this is a process of transforming data into information and making it available to users in a timely enough manner to make a difference. তো কি হয়েছে actually? What exactly happening? First, you have data. You have just seen that I'm again and again using the term decision making, right? Are you getting my point? Whenever the term you find. So this is a process of transforming the data into information. You cannot consider all the data as information. There is a difference between information and data. Data is the raw data that we are talking about. When we process it, then that becomes information, right? Suppose you have data like that is a say 5 boys and 3 girls data, right? So now what happened in earlier, we have a mix of those data, and that data about their say email IDs, their say date of birth, these things. But when we process it, we classify that these 5 are males and these 3 are females. So once we process the data, it becomes now an information. So this process of transforming data into information and making it available um, to users in timely enough manner to make a difference. This is known as data warehousing. I hope it is clear. Right. Okay. Now, as I have said many times, now let's come to the differences between database and data warehouse. What is the difference between database and data warehouse? See, database a kind of transaction oriented, because every time in
Yes.
transaction is being fired or transaction is done, then we generate some data, right? And we keep the data in the database. But in data warehouse, everything is related to subject oriented. We are focusing on subject, and subject means what? Some domains. Just for example, I have given uh, that like IT domain means the